ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all you little maniacs across the globe. Once again, it is time for Night Behind Bars Robcast. Coming at you live, uncut, and unrated from Spreaker Podcast and Broadcast Radio. So here's Zombie, and here we go. Grab a set of big titties and hold on, baby. Boys and girls, how are all of you doing today? I am Zombie. We are ready to rock and roll and start the show. Yeah. So, how are you little maniacs doing today? I am blessed. But it's not Sunday, June the 5th, man. My computer's tripping, but hey, like we say, we're not going to make excuses. We are going to make something happen. Rock and roll, guys. I would like to start off this show by saying, just giving a little thank you. Thank you to the Army. Thank you to the Navy. Thank you to the Air Force. And thank you to the Marines. Thank you, police officers, firefighters, and EMTs. All of you guys, thank you for your service, past, present, and future. So rock and roll, guys. It's almost motorcycle weather for everyone across the country. We got some... I don't know how you all feel about rallies. I think it's more about the journey. It's more about getting there. It's more about getting out there on the open road with some of your buddies and, just making an excuse to get out of the house and the freedom. About freedom. So we'll talk a little bit today. We might talk a little bit about what kind of craziness has been going on around here. We all know that... it is your show. I would encourage you to download the Spreaker Podcast app, right? Put it on your phone and check out some other interesting programming on here. I happen to kind of like Adam Carolla show. I kind of like Hollywood Babylon. I like, my fave is the Joe Rogan Experience. So that is some good stuff to listen to on the Bluetooth headset on your next journey. And don't forget to download the Spreaker Podcast app. Go to where it says created by. Click on my name, Robert Cole, and that's where it will give you the crisscross, and enable you guys to follow the show. So, getting our bikes cleaned up and ready for summertime, and I have not driven a car in a long time, man. I normally only ride motorcycles. We got some cowboy coffee, truly cowboy coffee here, because the filter fell over, and anyway, it caused a little bit of a disaster in the coffee pot, but I'm not going to throw away a good pot of coffee. I'm going to enjoy it with all you little maniacs here today on, that's right, LBBR. Oh, the motorcycling world, I am not in super close touch with. However, I do follow a lot of motorcycle enthusiasts and stuff on Twitter. However, I haven't really been on Twitter a lot lately. I've been cleaning up the old property around here, the place, making it a little bit more decent anyway. And I'm trying to put together a couple of little old projects, you know what I mean, just to pay the grocery bill or whatever with, because Lord knows, as easy as we make it seem here at Broadcast Radio, it does cost us out of pocket to bring you guys the show, and we're not going to charge you for it. All we do is ask you to follow the show, man. That's all we can do. Spread the word, dirty bird, because we're not going to pay Facebook or any of these other high-priced outlets in order to advertise for the show, because we believe word of mouth, number one, baby. So when we get back, we're going to talk about a little go-kart that I built. Went on a wild motherfucking ride, guys. So hold on, guys. We are ready to rock and roll. Woo! All right, let's kill that. hear a little something in the background. Quite possibly. I could quite... you're not going to hear it on here, guys, but the background we have is fucking Always Sunny in Philadelphia. How can you not love that show, Always Sunny? It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Kick the tires and light the fires, Big Daddy. Kick the tires and light the fires, Big Daddy.
What'd you say, Harry?
Kick the tires and light the fires, Big Daddy.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's kick the tires and light the fires, Big Daddy. So rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen. I always encourage people to form their own thoughts, their own opinions, and to think for themselves. However, sometimes I feel like I am like maybe I overthink things or something because, say, I haven't really driven a car, haven't owned a car in a few years. Oh yeah, just oh wow, that'll wake you up right there, Flip. But having not driven in a while, an automobile. I inherited an automobile, okay, so I decided to, fix it. It needed a new radiator, needed some new battery cable ends, it needed a couple of little dents popped out of it or whatever, but you know what I mean, it's a 10-year-old, 10-ish, around 10-year-old car, we'll say. I'm contemplating whether or not I should start driving a car at all, because it'd be nice, whenever the weather's really bad, to not to have to get the old zombie chopper all filthy. I'm thinking, well, I'll get this car, and there's anything that I do to it, like it runs great, cold AC, all this stuff. However, the airbag light stays on. With the fucking airbag light on, every time I get in this car, all I can think inside my brain is Takata. Has it got that fucking Takata airbag in it? Has it got that fucking Takata airbag in it? The airbag light is on, which means something is malfunctioning already. Now, am I going to hit a bump and get my jugular vein slashed by these fucking debris that explodes into your face whenever these fucking airbags deploy? I think I'd rather take my chances on my motorcycle, guys. So I'm not sure. I drove it around the block to make sure it wasn't going to overheat or anything. Drove it around the neighborhood for about 20 minutes, you know what I mean? Just to check it out. Didn't even put the faceplate on the radio or anything like that. You know what I mean? I just want to see mechanically it's going to be alright. Am I going to keep it? Should I flip it? You know what I mean? Should I sell it, invest that into buying a couple motorcycles to redo? However, being that I'm rebuilding my tools right now from a major disaster, a flood, it fucking basically took everything. It's the things that I've built lately. With the tools at hand, you know what I'm saying? You hear me? I'm saying? Or, okay. So I'm totally sketched out about driving this fucking car with an airbag light on it. And I know that my sister that I got the car from, I know she had been driving it like that. You know what I mean? No big deal. But now it's I can't get behind the wheel. I'm thinking, fuck, this fucking thing's going to explode any second. It's like when I worked on CNC machines. I would be on a machine knowing that the power had been turned off to it. But I would think inside my mind, I'm inside this fucking machine right now. What happens if the building gets struck by lightning? Is this motherfucker going to light up and eat me? You know what I mean? I've always been a little bit, I guess, of an overthinker. So having a few, I would say limited tools at hand, I put together a little bit of trading, okay? And I ended up putting the money back in my pocket that I started with and ended up with, let's say, a riding mower, a go-kart, a push mower. Pops needed a push mower, so I got him a really nice push mower out of the deal. However, I got a riding mower, okay? I got a riding mower, sold it online. That's a whole fucking nother story to sell things online. But I get this go-kart. So I got the go-kart, and I put a brand new Honda, what was it? It's a 160. It's a 4.5 horsepower, but it's a high performance racing motor on this little fucking go-kart. And I built my own braking system on it, my own brake bar, and I hadn't really tested it out, you know? So whenever I go to, actually, I drove it around, everything was fine. I give it to the guy that I had actually built it for, with him in mind, you know what I mean? He basically commissioned me to build the go-kart once I had possession of it for his grandson. Well, I had already wheeled it over there, you know, for them to take delivery of the go-kart, and something, a little minor thing went wrong with the, putting a brand new throttle cable on it, the little, the clevis at the end of the throttle cable. Once somebody, I guess, you stomp it a little bit too hard, it pulls. No big deal. That just means I need to go put it back in place, retorque it, or use a better cable coupling. No big deal. So I took it back across the street over here, and I got it right, okay? I got the throttle all fucking hooked back up right and everything. And on this Honda engine that I put on it, it has a manual lever that goes up and down to control the throttle. Well, I incorporated that into a throttle cable and a return spring. So when you push your foot down, it pulls it up. And when you let your foot off, well, there's another spring on the bar on the throttle pedal, you know, on the accelerator, and it automatically comes back. Well, what happened was, I cranked it up. I'm going to test drive it around, of course, before I let these little kids on it. And I get on it, and I hit the throttle, and when I did, it pinned all the way open. So I'm thinking, okay, hit the brake. When I hit the brake, the keeper that I had holding my brake pad, the thing that wraps around the hub, your actual brake shoe, that whole thing just came off. It just came off. And so this little fucker, dude, at like, totally wound up. I mean, luckily, I left the governor on it, or it would have been way wilder of a ride. And luckily, the drive tire was able to spin a little bit, because it started white smoking. And I thought, okay, I'll level it out and I'll just hit the brake again. And I hit the brake's all the way down. It's like, it's fucked. There is no brake. So by the time I think about it, I'm probably going about 20 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour down the road with no brake, and the throttle is not doing anything. It's fucking hung wide open. So what did I do? I said, okay, I gotta make a decision here. This is a freshly built machine. Oh, goodness. And normally, the first thing you do, guys, right? Okay, let me tell you, just go through what I did. It started doing the burnout. I fucking tried to stop it with the brake. That didn't work. So, I don't know why I did this. I stuck my foot out of the go-kart and hit the left front tire with my foot and stopped it dead in its tracks. But the go-kart just fucking kept gaining speed, and I cut it. I did a 180. I turned around, and then I'm going back the other way. I'm starting to gain speed again. So before I could gain too much speed, there's the ditch in front of my property that's full of water. And so I just fucking right turned straight into the water and nosedived into the ditch. And then hit the fucking kill switch. This all happened in a matter of about 8 seconds. So I'm glad that there was a truck that was obstructing my neighbor's view across the way. He didn't see that I was totally out of control on the grandkids go-kart that I just put together for him. So yeah, I put it back in the shop. I'm going to regulate the governor to where it will not go 50 or 60 miles an hour. I guarantee, because whenever I did drive it around, it will roll the fuck out for a little bitty go-kart the way the gear ratio and everything's set up on it. So always test out these little machines before you